Hey guys, it's Tuck, and I've got a question for you today. Do you know what truly guides you? Or as my grandpa used to say, do you know your true north? Are you strong enough in your beliefs that you'll walk away from a business deal, from a friendship, from a family member, from influence, because it doesn't follow your compass, your moral compass? I'm sure we've all done it a few times. But it gets harder and harder the more responsibilities that we have, the more mouths that we feed within our family, the more eyeballs we have on us, the more follows and blue check marks that we have. Sometimes we just follow suit because we're falling in line with expectations in our life. But I think it's so important to know your true north. When I was a much younger man and I had founded my first agency, I was desperate to grow, like many of you out there hustling in the entrepreneurial game. And I thought I'd made it big, landed a pitch meeting with a regional bank, and here I was, getting ready to take over the keys for their brand, storytelling at its best, right? And if anybody out there is in financial services, you know that when you have a banking client, or you're in-house at a bank or credit union or mortgage outfit, sweet Jesus, it's a lot. But I tell you the story not for humor, but as a challenge. I walk into this boardroom, brand new facility, pumped, got all my brand discovery games ready to go because I've got a rule. If you're not willing to play ball with me in a simple conversation about discovering the personalities around that table, which I call the table of influence within Story Wins the Day, if you're not willing to play ball there and have a little fun and talk about the little quirks about the people around the table as well as your brand or brands, then you're probably not going to be willing to play ball when it comes to the serious stuff. So you got to know your true north and know when to walk away. And this one table I walked into, I tried to do what I normally do, take assessment of the room, assessment of the brand, and was cut off immediately and was taken on a tour by the head of that table of influence about a story about an apparel brand and how this apparel brand was influencing the business decisions for this bank. And I tell you this not to identify or to harm this individual, but to tell you that in that moment, in my mid-20s, I knew right then, right there, as soon as 5 minutes passed on this diatribe from the person at the head of the table, the only person that really mattered in the room, that I have to know my true north, and I have to walk away. And I did, because like I said, if we can't play ball over a simple conversation of figuring each other out and our expectations and needs, then we're not going to be able to play ball when things get heavy. And we really need to come together and find consensus. And we need to understand the word and live out the word in its truest meaning, collaboration. So 2 weeks go by after I leave. They give me a call, their assistant, and they ask why my bid didn't come through. And I said, I wish to both of you. And there were multiple people on the phone call. And I said, I wish you the best in finding your true north. But for me, mine tells me to walk away. So you've got to know what your true north is. Challenge yourself to go against the grain, to go against the tide, and to find your own way based off your morals, what you believe to be right. So I say this to you as a challenge. Assess what's important to you and assess who's at your table influencing you. And know when to walk away or when to guide somebody gently away. This has been a lesson from Tuck.